In a month's time, I'm having voice surgery because I have a intracaudal cyst on my vocal folds. Let's talk about what I'm going to do to make sure that I get my voice back. So hey, my name's Katya McCarb, I'm a metal vocalist and vocal coach, and if you don't know me, nice to meet you. My voice is my life, my identity, my entire livelihood, and my job. I am a metal vocalist, recording artist, performing musician, voice actor, and vocal coach. My entire life is my voice, and I didn't always sound like this. Now, one of the first things, of course, that I'm going to have to do in order to make my voice better is have surgery. There is no amount of training or care, rest that will make my voice better from what it currently sounds like. Surgery is my only option. It's not a common surgery, but amongst voice users, it's not uncommon either. And I mean, hey, if it's good enough for John Bon Jovi, it's good enough for me, right? In addition to that, some of you might remember a few weeks ago, I made a post all about this sweater. Now, this is from Inside My Head. This is my Shark Communication hoodie. On here, it has some features that will allow me to communicate without speaking. So if you want to know more about it, you can check out my video. In addition to the hoodie, on the Inside My Head website, there are some communication cards. Now, they are not producing those cards themselves at the moment, so I decided, why not make my own? So, inspired by Inside My Head, I have used some of the cards that they offer, as well as coming up with some of my own. I also added a bell to mine, which you can hear me rattling as I talk about it, and a little clip so that I can hook it to my clothes. I also added a whiteboard to the back of my communication cards and then attached a pen. There's also a plushie. I love me a plushie, whether that be a big one or a small one. They're just really useful sensory tools for me as someone who's neurodiverse to have lots of tactile things close by. Not to go through all of these cards, but just to show you a few of my favourites. Can I have a snack please? Which is of course followed by an options card that I can pick one of the ones that I want from. Are you okay? So I can ask my partner how he is doing. And a really useful one that I think I'm going to benefit from a lot says, I have more to say, but I need a minute to write it down. Please wait a moment. So that means that I can take a second to just flip to the back, write down what I have to say, and keep going. If you're wondering why I've got so much stuff that I use to speak for me, for 2 weeks post-op, I will be completely silent. It is imperative that I stay completely silent for those 2 weeks to avoid any kind of additional scarring on my voice or cause any more problems going forward. So one of the other things that I've found is I can use text-to-speech on my phone. I've found a voice that is nowhere near mine, but I like enough to use, and she's like a northern lass, so she says things like grass and bath rather than grass and bath. One of the other things that's going to be super important in my post-surgery voice care is that I have been very lucky and that the RSM and Musicians Union have given me some funding to take time off work. I will be off work for 3 full weeks while I recover and I'm doing my voice rest. I will not be able to speak for 2 of those weeks, so it's just meaning that I'm getting a little bit of extra time to kind of get myself back on my feet. I've also been discussing with my students about a phased return to work, so rather than going in hell for leather, I'm halving my hours, halving my time, and actually putting a little bit more care into how I approach things going back in. Students, if you want to know more about this, check the student forum on Teams. Thank you. I will of course be using my nebulizer, drinking lots of water, having things that will help me not overproduce mucus. As I'm sure you can all hear, my mucus is back full throttle. I ran out of my steroids and they're currently not prescribing me anymore. I've been given something in the interim, but it's nowhere near as powerful, so it's not doing as good of a job. I've also developed a chest infection, so pray for me. And then lastly, as part of my recovery journey, the incredible Georgia Train and I are going to be working together doing some voice lessons for me. It has been a hot minute since I've had voice lessons. She's also a very like-minded teacher when it comes to talking about how the voice works, anatomy, understanding the sciences, and understanding the mental flow between voice, body, and person. So I know I'm in capable hands. Massive thank you to Georgia, and I cannot wait to work with her. She has been a voice in my ears since uni, so very excited. We also did a panel together several years ago, so there you go. But I've got the good news, my pre-op assessment is booked in, my surgery has been confirmed, all systems are go, so Friday the 13th, I am having voice surgery, and for those of you who don't know, My name is Katie McCarb, and I am chronically ill.